Okay, guys, let's get started. So today's session is specifically for back mobility and strength, and also a bit of core and abdominal work. I've recently injured my back, so I may not have the mobility in this that I normally have, but bear with me, and you can always go deeper into the positions than I do. So don't let me not going as far down be a guide to what you do. So we're going to start off, just to start with, as always, a little bit of alignment. So just think about standing tall, bringing your stomach in, and just chest up, head high. Think piece of string coming out the top of your head. Think really nice tall thoughts, and then put your hands on your ribs and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. As you breathe in, I want you to feel the ribs open and rise. As you breathe out, you should feel the ribs close in. If you touch your fingertips together on your ribs, you should see them actually spread apart as you breathe in and come together again as you exhale. One more. Good, and relax. And now I just want you to take your weight from the left foot through to the right foot, and then back to the left foot, and just sway side by side. Just feeling the weight transferring from one side to the next. And then I want you to go from heels onto toes. You're not lifting right up on the toes, you're just putting the weight through the ball of the foot and then through the heels. Yeah, just a couple more like that for me. And then again, take yourself back to center, roll the shoulders back, and then we're just going to take one hand down the side of the leg as far as is comfortable, and then back to center. Hand down the leg and back to center. You can even focus on the breathing with your warm-up movements. So we can inhale as we slide down, exhale as we come back up. And just a couple more. Feeling that spine just mobilize into that lateral flexion. And hopefully your fingers are going a little bit further down the leg with each rep that you do. And we'll just do one last one. And back to center. Now we're going to bring our arms up in front of us, and we're just going to rotate around to the side, trying to look over that shoulder behind you, rotating all the way through the torso and back through. So you're allowing the whole body to rotate, even the hips are rotating around a little bit. We're not focusing just on the spine with this, it's just general rotation in the way that you move in everyday life. Now you're going to take the arms out to give a little bit of momentum and swing around. You might hear a few little clicks and cracks as you do this. I am. All perfectly fine. Good. And then we're going to go into our shoulder rollbacks. Huge big circles with the shoulders. Really exaggerate the movement there. And a couple more. Good. And relax and just let the arms hang nice and loose. Now we are going to go into our open and round. So we open the chest, we round the shoulders. Open the chest, we round off the shoulders. So as we round off the shoulders, we're stretching and opening up the rhomboids on the upper back, an area that we don't stretch very often. So really think about sliding those shoulder blades away from each other to make more room between the shoulder blades. We often ask you to squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's not as often we move the shoulder blades apart. And it's important to have those shoulder blades able to move freely and lots of different movement planes. Good. And now we're going to want to tuck and tilt. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing here. So it's sometimes easier to put a hand on your tummy and a hand on the back here, small of the back. And what we're looking to do is tilt the pelvis. We want to pull it back, and then we want to tuck under and tilt out. So this is mobilizing that lower part of the spine, those lower vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae, and even through into the sacrum here, just to get some movement in that lower spine and through that pelvis. So tuck and tilt. So we're just going through anterior and posterior tilt of the pelvis. If you prefer, you can put your hands on the sides of your hips and feel the tilt in that way. It's what's best for you. The pelvic tilt's really important to be able to control in Pilates, to be able to get good positioning of the lumbar region of the spine. Good. Now you're going to move to one side of the mat, so one end of the mat, sorry, not the side. And we're going to go into some roll downs. Now, I'm going to do quite a few of these because my back's been really bad this week, and this is a really good way of mobilizing the whole spine. So we're going to start by tucking the chin, and then we're going to roll down and just feel yourself roll down one vertebrae at a time. When you need to, you just bend the knees until you get your hands down onto the floor. The idea of this is we keep the knees the legs as straight as we can for as long as we can, so we get a full bend. But as soon as you need to, you take the knees and bend them a little bit to take the stretch off. Then we're going to uncurl the same way. So just one vertebrae at a time, stacking back up. The head comes up, and we bring the shoulders back into that good neutral posture. And then we go again. Take an inhalation. And then gently exhale. So you tuck the chin, tilt, and roll down. Try and get a little bit further before you bend those knees. And then again, coming up nice and gently. Slowly, slowly. Bring the shoulders back. Okay, we're going to do 3 more of these. Nice and slowly down. One vertebrae at a time. See how far you can go. Look how much I've got already. I've got much more before I've had to bend my knees, just from those 3 movements. And back up. Shoulders back. Inhale again, nice deep breath. And then exhale. Roll the chin, upper back, mid back, into that lower back. Only as far as you need to go. And bend the knees to get down to the floor. Straighten. And back up. And again, we'll go down one more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin. Roll the spine. Down we go. Bend the knees. And then back up. Back into that nice, tall, neutral position. Good. Now come down to the mat for me nice and gently. We're going to do a few more spinal mobility drills. So we're going to start with the cat-cow. Most people will have had this from a physio, osteopath, anybody you've seen if you've had a bad back or any issues in the lumbar region especially. So all we're going to do is that pelvic tuck and tilt again, but this time we extend it all the way through the head. So we tuck the chin in and we tuck the tailbone under. And then we reverse it. We pull the head back and we pull the pelvis back. Feel that really nice stretch. You're going to hold for 3 or 4 seconds in each position before we then move out of that position. Yeah, just keep 3 seconds or so in each position. Don't rush through it. It's not about how fast you get through it. It's about nice controlled reps. Let's just do one more. Good, and relax. And then the final stretch we're going to do is going down into a cobra and then child's pose. So we're going to go cycle through. These are positions you've probably done in stretches after workout. So again, if you've had particular issues that you've seen a physio about, or you've had a one-to-one Pilates session, movements you've been given to do. So for a cobra, you're lying on your front and your hands are going to be level with your shoulders in this position here. You're then just going to gently push down into the mat through your hands and let your back roll up off the mat. We want to keep our hips pushed into the floor. We don't let our hips come up. We're not doing this. Our hips stay down on the floor. So try and think about pushing the front of your hips down into the floor. And just allow your back to curve to a nice natural curved position like that. And then after you hold for a few seconds, we pull it back, and we slide into that child's pose, which again is just curving the spine in the opposite direction. It's all about movement through the spine. Any back injuries or back problems, the more you move them, the better they get, the faster they heal. And then again, hands further forward. Come down to the floor. Get yourself comfortable on the floor. And then just one more time, we're going to push up. Keeping the hips in contact with the floor. And hold that position. And then just come up. Bring your bottom over your feet. And into a child's pose. And again, with child's pose, it's personal preference. The forehead on the floor. I like to have my arms extended out because I feel a really nice stretch through my lats. If you're more comfortable, you can have your hands down by your side in this position. This is a more relaxed position, but I like to use the child's pose as a stretch. So I do a modified version with my hands stretched out here. So that gives my lats a really good stretch. And then just come up out of that. So first of our main exercises today, now we're all warmed up and limber, is our 4-point position bird dog. So we're going to do this in 3 different ways. So 3 staircases. So we have the first level. I'm going to show you first. So on all fours, our knees should be under our hips, our hands under our shoulders. We're going to extend our right hand and our left leg, so opposite sides. So we're going to inhale to prepare and tuck the tummy in. So tuck the tummy in, the navel into the back. Tucking in if you're just squeezing in a little bit, zipping up your jeans. And then we're going to exhale and extend the arm out. And come back down. Making sure the torso is not rocking. Opposite side. Extend hand and foot. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, extend. Inhale, return. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to extend. Inhale to return to mat. Deep breath, inhale. Prepare, tuck the tummy. Exhale to extend. Inhale to return. Again, these aren't about doing it fast. It's about controlled movement and good movement, knowing your own body, knowing what position you're in, stretching out nice and long. Your thumb should be uppermost, hands aren't down, thumb uppermost in this position. And just keep flowing through that movement. Make sure, again, you're moving with the breath. Using your inhalation and your exhalation to keep those movements nice and controlled. One more on each side. Last one. Good, and relax. And then again, just drop your bottom back into that child's pose and just have a few moments with your forehead on the floor. Just relaxing into it. The next level we're going to take, level 2. So if ever you can't move on a level, just stay with the previous level that I've gone through. Is going to be your extending out and going out to the diagonal. So when we're in this position, we're going to do the same as we did before. We're going to inhale to prepare. That means tucking the tummy in, making sure you're controlling in this region. To tuck in. Exhale to lift the hand, come out to the diagonal and back. And then inhale to return. Exhale, diagonal, return, and back to mat. Exhale, diagonal, and back to mat. Keep going through those reps. Up, diagonal, back, and return. Think about that breath. Exhale, diagonal, inhale. One more each side. Last one. Good. And again, drop back to child's pose. Forehead to the ground. Stretch it forwards or put the arms at the side if that's how you prefer to relax. Okay. Level 3. Again, you can stay with level 1 or level 2. Level 3, we're just going to kick it up a notch. We're going to do the diagonal and then we're going to do 3 pulses with the leg. So we extend, go to diagonal, 3 little pulses and back. So let's get into that. So in our position, making sure again, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We've got our feet about knees and our hands about 2/3 of the width of the mat apart. Obviously, it depends how wide or narrow your shoulders are. And then we're going to start. We're going to inhale to prepare, suck in that tummy. And then we're going to exhale out to the diagonal, 3 pulses with the leg. You can pulse the hand as well if you want. If it's easier for you, just to pulse the leg, just pulse the leg. This is us halfway. Keep it going. Keep using those glutes all the way across the back. Right, we got one more each side. Don't let that form drop. Keep the position. Good. And for the last time, into our child's pose. Draw the arms forward or to your side, whatever's best for you. And just take a few controlled breaths. Good. And then just come up gently. Next, we're going into swimming. This exercise is going to be, we're going to be lying face down, and then we're going to be doing, same as bird dog, alternate sides of arms and legs, but we're going to start off just fluttering the legs, then we'll be fluttering the arms, and then we'll do opposite side, arm and leg at the same time. So fluttering just as if we are swimming. I'm just going to take my mic off, otherwise I'm going to be lying right on top of it. So it probably won't sound very good if I'm lying on top of it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we start in this position on the mat, arms in front of us, feet extended, as if we are swimming. So what we're going to do, we are going to, if you've ever done the hundreds, the breathing for this is a little bit like the hundreds. We try and do 5 flutters for each, 5 flutters for each breath. The movement's too fast to do on individual breaths. So let me show you with the legs. On the mat, we're going to raise the legs up as we inhale to prepare. And then we're going to basically flutter, 5 flutters for the exhale, 5 for the inhale. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale, inhale. So just like that. You might have already started, or you might have just been watching to get an idea of that. So this time, do it properly. We're going to do it for 50 counts. So that's a total of 10 breaths. So just the legs to start with. Keep your arms extended in the floor. You can push your weight down through the hands a little bit in the floor. So lift the legs, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. 4, 5, and down. And relax. If you want to relax the back up, again, just pop back into child's pose, just for a second or two. And then we're going to come back forward. So level 2 is now to do the arms. So this time we're going to leave the feet on the floor and leave the feet pressed in through the floor. So we're going to inhale to prepare and lift the arms. And then we're going to do the same again. 5. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Hands down. And again, just drop the bottom back. Just pushing the spine in the opposite position, help take the tension out. And then come back. Okay, so level 3, if you're ready for level 3, if you can't do level 3, again, stay with just the legs or just the arms, whichever one worked for you and was comfortable for you. Level 3 is going to be when the left hand moves, the right arm, right leg moves. When the left arm moves, the right arm moves. So opposite sides. You're going to be using your whole posterior chain, your whole sling of muscles across your back here doing this. Very, very good for doing an entire back strength. So again, we're going to inhale to prepare. Lift the arms and legs, and then we're going to count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Good. And then just relax, head on the mat. Just let yourself relax, whatever feels like it needs to be stretched or eased. You want to go back into child's or just a little bit cat-cow. Whatever needs to be stretched on you, following that. Good, well done. So that's swimming. We're now going to go into a supine position, so lying. My mic on, sorry. We're now going to go into supine position, so we're going to be lying uppermost, and we're going to start off with glute bridges. We're going to start with some really basic glute bridges. So we're going to do glute bridges, but with feet in different positions. So anybody who's had lower back problems or hamstring problems, which are quite often linked together, because obviously the hamstring pulls into the pelvis and the lower back's pulling on the pelvis. So pelvis instability is quite often what causes back and hamstring issues. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with a normal, what you'd say is the bridge that most people know of. So this is lying on our back, a nice comfortable position. When we bridge up, our knees should be kind of above our feet. This is our kind of average bridge position. There's lots of bridge positions we can use, but this is the one that we'd normally go to, the one that feels comfortable for most people. So this is where we're going to start, in that neutral kind of bridge position. So arms down at our sides. And all we're going to do, as we inhale to prepare, we're going to be sucking in the tummy, and we're going to be doing that pelvic tilt again. So we're going to be rolling the pelvis up before we then lift. So we're going to inhale, tilt, and then lift. And that's all on the inhalation. And then we exhale as we gently come back down. So these are slow, controlled movements. Inhale, tuck and tilt, and lift. Exhale, curl it down. And again, you should be doing the reverse of the tuck and tilt as you come down. Don't just slam the body down. Tuck and tilt, lift, really squeeze the glutes. Reverse it back down, back into the floor. Let the glutes relax momentarily between each rep. If you try and keep the glutes engaged the entire time, they'll get tired and they won't fire as well. So let the glutes switch off between each rep. Again, tuck and tilt, squeeze the glutes as we lift. Keep the glutes engaged. Exhale and roll down. Release the glutes. And then again, inhale, tuck and tilt, squeeze, and up. Good. 4 more. Tuck and tilt, and lift. Really keep those glutes engaged the entire time that they're lifted off the mat. You should be squeezing those glutes. We've got 2 more. Squeeze the glutes. Control it down. The abdominals should be firing as we tuck and tilt. Squeezing, everything should be firing as we lift up. Let's just add 1 more. Good. And then to release that, just want to pull your knees into the chest. Just hold your knees in that position. It's a nice way to ease off the back again. And then get your feet back into that position we've been in. We're going to go for stage 2 now. Level 2. If you look at where your feet were before that, so when we bridged up, our shins were almost perpendicular to the floor. Maybe not quite, but it depends on what feels the normal position for you as to where you put them. What we're going to do this time is we're going to walk them out about 3 or 4 inches. So you can see the angle of my knees there is much different. Now what this does is it changes the emphasis of the glutes to the hamstrings. So it makes it a little bit more hamstring dominant. So we still squeeze the glutes, but we're also going to be activating the hamstrings a lot more in this extended position. So exactly the same positioning with the tuck and tilt. If you want to make it a little bit harder as well, you can bring your arms overhead and have the palms facing each other in this position. But feel free to keep them on the floor or do a combination of both. So for the first one, we're going to inhale, squeezing the tummy, tuck and tilt, and lift. Squeeze the glutes, and then we exhale and bring it down. And again, tuck and tilt. As we inhale and lift, bring it down. And there we go. Inhale. Exhaling as we come down. Release the glutes at the bottom. And then again, squeeze. You tuck and tilt and lift. Squeeze through those glutes. And down. Good. Keep going. Tuck and tilt. Make sure you're still moving with the breath. The feet should still be flat on the floor at this point. Realize why I've said that for the next round. So heels are on the floor and the toes are on the floor, but fully flat in contact. Really squeeze the glutes at the top. Exhale down. And one more. And down. Good. And again, just bring the legs in, cross the feet or keep the feet to the sides. It's up to you. Just whatever feels nice for your back and for your mobility after you've done an exercise like that. Okay, level 3. What we're going to do this time, we really want to hit the hamstrings now. So moving the feet further away made it more hamstring dominant. We want to do that again, but this time we're also going to go on the heels. So whereas our feet have been flat on the floor when they were here and here, now we're going to go a little bit further out again and go on the heels. And this is really going to wake up those hamstrings. So the best way to do it is find your natural position again. Otherwise, it's quite hard to forget where you were. Take the feet out a few inches, then a few inches more, and then go on the heels. If you want to make this even harder for yourself, if you have a foam roller, you can put your heels on a foam roller or put your heels on a brick, an elevated like yoga brick or a step. The higher you put them up, the further they're out, the more you're going to feel it in the hamstrings. Again, if you want to, you can have the hands in this position. So remember, we tuck that pelvis, lift, squeeze through the glutes and feel the hamstrings, and then exhale as we come down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, prepare. Lift. Exhale. And lower. And again, inhale, prepare. Exhale to lower. Let's go 3 more. Really squeeze those glutes at the top and make sure you're lowering nice and comfortably, not slamming that back into the floor. And the last one. Good. And again, bring those legs in. A little bit of a roll, whatever feels good. Okay, bring yourself up to seated. We are next on to, oh, nice, one of my favorites. Double leg stretch. So double leg stretch, some of you who've done these sessions with me before will have done these. These have definitely been in the previous recordings. I say definitely. I'm sure they have been. It must have been. It's my favorite exercise. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to be starting off with just a sweep and grabbing the shins. So legs in this position. So we're in a similar position to what we were just for the glute bridge there. When we do the double leg stretch, I'm going to show you one full double leg stretch. We're not doing the full double leg stretch just yet. The hands are on the front of the shins in this position. And we stretch the arms and the legs out. And then we sweep and come back into that position. So the feet don't touch the floor and the hands don't touch the floor. Everything's kept up and off the mat. So it's all about that abdominal strength. But what we're going to do is we're going to staircase it into 3 levels. So you've got 3 different levels you can do. If you want to go straight into that double leg sweep, you know how to do it. The double leg stretch, you can go straight into that now, or you can do the 3 staircases with me now. So the first staircase, we keep the legs where they are. We have the arms above the head in this position. Sorry, we have the hands just on the legs in this position. We're going to inhale and bring the shoulders up as we then bring the arms up, sweep and come forward. Inhale to extend. Exhale, sweep around. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sweep around. This feels too easy. Try and grab the core even more and use that core to really lift your shoulders up off the floor. If you're using the core to fully lift yourself up off the floor, you should be really feeling this in the abdominals, even with the legs on the floor for now. Three more. Extend. Sweep. Stretch out. And sweep. Good. And then just do a full body stretch to take that tension out. So stretch the full body out. You should feel this releasing the abdominals. Just lets them relax off. Okay. Back to the next level. So the next level, we're going to have our feet coming up off the mat in this position. As we extend, the toes are going to just tap on the mat and then come up. So we're going to extend, toes tap on the mat and come back. Again, really bringing the shoulders up off the floor. Extend and sweep. Extend and toe tap and sweep. Inhale, extend. Exhale as you sweep. Three more. Good, and relax. Legs extended, arms extended. Have a good stretch out before we go into those full double leg stretches. Okay. So into that final level. This is level 3. If you can't do this level, you can stick with the previous ones that we've done. So again, Hands on the front of the shins in this position. This time we're going to do the full extension. Extend the arms, extend the legs, and sweep. Inhale as we extend. Exhale as we sweep. Good. Nice and slow and controlled with your breath. Really use those abdominals as you crunch yourself up and bring your knees in. Two more. And one more. Good. And relax. Take a nice deep stretch. Take 3 breaths in this stretch. Inhale and exhale. And 2 more. Try and make your body as long as you possibly can. Good. And then just gently come up to that seated position. Okay, next one, roll like a ball. I love this one. This is actually quite nice. It's just a stretch if you're doing any other kind of exercise and you just want to roll out. I actually get quite a few cracks and pops when I do this, but it's kind of in a nice way. You just feel it's moving all the muscles. It's really good for your abdominals, for your balance and your posture. And the whole purpose of this is we're trying to work on balance. So let me quickly just show you roll like ball if you haven't done it. The hands are on the front of the shins here. We're going to roll up onto the shoulders, roll back, but catch ourselves in this position. So the feet don't land on the mat. We catch ourselves. It's about balance and posture. What we're going to do, level 1, we're not going to roll right to the shoulders. We're just going to roll back. Just get a feeling of rolling and catching. You have to squeeze the core and have a tight core to be able to catch in this position. If you're relaxed, you just won't be able to catch it. You'll come flopping forward. You won't be able to catch before your feet hit the floor. So let's just try. We're not going too far on the shoulders, just on the back. If at this point your feet come down, don't worry about it. This is just like a little warm-up round almost to get used to it. It gives you that ability to be able to get used to where the catch position is. Now think of the breath. Inhale, back, exhale, forward. So inhale, exhale as you rock back. Okay, let's do 2 more. Then let your feet come down on the mat. You might find like I did there, you gradually move further forward as you do these. Level 2 of this, we're just this time going to try and get the full range. So we're going to try and roll onto the tops of our shoulders with this. And then really try this time. We're going to do 10 of these, or ish, because I can never count and breathe and do everything else at the same time. Around 10 of these. Inhale as we roll back, exhale as we bring ourselves forward. This time we're going to try and get a little bit further back onto our shoulders. So just come back. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. exhale. Four or five more. Ooh, I lost it on that one. Two more. Last one. Good. And you can keep it held in that position. It's really good to learn how to capture that position, because this is what we're going to need to do when we come in to do teaser, which I can't do at the minute. That pulls on where my back's sore at the minute. But yeah, in one of these sessions in a few weeks, we'll start developing more of the advanced techniques like teaser. So last version of this rolling light ball is going to be the full straight leg. So it's going to go into kind of half teaser. So if you want to try this version, this is the next level up. And what we're doing with this, the rolling back is the same on the shoulders, but as we come forward, we then straighten the legs. Again, I can't fully do this, but you might be able to. So back, roll forward, straighten the legs. Back, forwards, and straighten the legs. You can't do the legs straighten, but just stick with what we were doing previously. Remember the breaths. Inhale as you rock back, exhale as you come forwards. Let's try for two more. And relax. Perfect. Now, whatever you need to do to ease off after that, if you're feeling it in your hips a bit from being in the same position for too long, you can rock the hips. If you need to do a cat-cow, whatever you need, take 20, 30 seconds to just do a few movements. We're going to move into our sixth exercise. I've actually managed to write down 2 exercise 5s on this list. So we've got 7 exercises, but we won't fit 7 in as well as the stretching. So we're going to skip out one of them and we're going to go back into saw. So we've done saw previously, and saw is actually really good if you have any posterior chain issues. So if you have any issues, calves, hamstrings, lower back, really, really good. So we're going to do this in 3 different movements. So the first movement we're going to do is going to be the spine stretch forward. So we're going to put our hands up in front of us and we're just going to reach forwards and come back. And then reach forwards and come back. And the aim of this is to try and get a little bit further forwards on each movement. Inhale as we come forwards. And 2 more. Hello, Ginger. And 1 more. Good, and relax. Second part, we're going to introduce the twist. So we're not going to do the reach and the twist yet. That's the final stage. So stage 2 is just the rotation. And you're trying to get your hand as you rotate to go as far as, if not further, than the foot, but without letting your hips come off the floor. Exhale. Inhale to return. Exhale. Inhale to return. And one more each side. Good, and relax. If anybody was watching as we're doing that, they'll have spotted that I got carried away and actually went into full saw on one of those reps. Getting carried away. I really like this stretch. So the third level, which we're going to do now, is adding both of those together. So we're going to inhale to bring ourselves on our posture upright. We're going to exhale, come down and forward. The little finger should make contact with the little toe. And then inhale to return. Exhale, forward. Inhale to return. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. One more each side. Good. And done. Okay, so into our little stretches. We're going to start, just to continue from this exercise we've done, we're going to start with a hamstring stretch and we're going to do a classic hurdle stretch. So we have one leg stretched out in front of us. The other leg, we have just touching the sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh of the other leg bent. If that's not comfortable, you can have it a little bit looser, but it's nice to have it in that nice compact position. You're going to take your hands down the leg. If you can get your toes, hook onto your toes. If you can't hook onto the toes, don't worry, just grab your shin, or you can even use a belt or a strap if you want to. And you're just going to try and gently breathe your way down the leg. So just take a few nice deep breaths. Breathe in and out. Do 3 nice slow breaths. Trying to get that knee a little bit further down. Each time. And then just release that up and switch sides. So again, bring the arms down the leg onto the foot. Bring your head down into a position that's comfortable for you. And then once you're in that nice comfortable position, just focus on 3 nice breaths. And with each breath, just try and let your head get a little bit lower down to your knee. Good. And relax. And then we're just going to move from that. We're going to go back into a little bit of cat-cow like we did at the start, just to release any tension. And one more. And relax. And then all I want you to do, get your feet on the mat. And then in this position, just take a couple of breaths. And then putting your hands on the floor, try and stretch your hips up and try and straighten your legs. You can't fully straighten the legs. I can straighten the left side. I can't straighten the right side because of this lower back issue I've got on the right side. Very nearly there though. Much better than how I started, which just goes to show how much this does for you. In fact, there you go. I've got it. Full stretch. I've not had that for a week and a half. I slipped a disc a week and a half ago. There we go. That's that full stretch. And then all I want you to do, slowly, slowly, bring your hands up the legs as you uncurl the spine, straighten up, shoulders back. Just get into that nice, comfortable position. And again, just ease those shoulders off. And then again, as we did at the start, hands on the ribs. I want you to close your eyes and do 2 or 3 nice deep breaths. Good. And then open the eyes, relax the body, and that is us all done.